Kevin Galt, real estate agent with LPT Realty.
Hi, I'm Trent, friendly neighborhood mortgage advisor with Empire Financial.
Trent, in your experience, are buyers more cautious about their budget now that they're more aware of commission costs with the NAR settlement?
We're kind of seeing a mixed bag. Some people are still used to the old ways that the seller's going to pay for the buyer's side commission, so they don't care about it. Other people have taken a step back and they have that concern. What if I have to come to the table with more closing costs? So we're starting to see it both ways.
Trent, in your experience now, are buyers more aware of their budget due to the NAR settlement and the commission's costs?
We're kind of starting to see it both ways. Some people are used to the old ways that the seller's just going to pay, so they haven't even thought about it yet. Others are thinking about it more, that what if I have to pay my agent? And they ask more questions on that. And they say, hey, I need to set more money aside, make sure I'm actually ready to buy a home.
Now, are they trying to work things out within their mortgage themselves in terms of, okay, if I do this in the mortgage, can we factor in a commission cost as a buyer?
Yeah, I've actually came across that a couple of times, and I've helped an agent already say, hey, let's offer your commission on top of the home price and then price it that way. So, hey, let's put the 3% on top of the home and then see if they'll accept that offer. The only catch is the home has to appraise for that much more to make sure that it's covered. If it doesn't, we're back to square one of taking that commission out of the bump in home price.
Added my own curiosity in terms of agents letting their clients know. Have you come across anybody who said, I had no idea that there was a commission cost as a buyer?
Yeah, it's funny because you've seen it for years now that nobody had to know about it. The sellers were the one looking at it. And you're the first-time home buyer, they have no idea. They go, oh, I just need to do my loan costs. And then the issue we come across actually is there's still misconceptions in the lending space where people think closing cost is down payment. I just need to come up with 3.5% for my FHA. We're like, well, there's other costs that have to be paid. And now we're adding the buyer's commission on there as well, so they're aware of it, just to eliminate surprises.
Now, I've seen it where they offer more on the home in order to have that get paid out into the commission. Is that another tactic people use?
You're spot on. So people will say, hey, I know you're not offering a buyer's side commission, but I want to offer a little bit more for this home, but my agent's going to get paid. And that's where your expertise really comes in negotiating these terms and saying, I don't want my client to have to pay my commission out of pocket, so we're going to offer more for the home. And then in that offer says, this is because I'm getting paid a commission. You weren't offering it before, but if this offer gets accepted, I'll get my commission.
That makes sense to me.
I know we talked about home prices being a thing where it's like, hey, the buyer's side commission's already been kind of baked in too, like for years, right? So it was 6%, 6%, 6%. We're not allowed to say everything is 6%, but it was. So now people who aren't paying commissions, they're expecting that they're going to get just more at the closing table, and it's already built into home prices for years because we anticipated, oh, I have to pay my agents 6% and the agent that buys the house, essentially, right?
Right. And we can reduce the price of the house or reduce the price of your mortgage.
Oh, yeah.
Which would you want?
Sales concession.
Yeah. The house is offered at $500,000. We offer, I don't know, $480 or whatever, but as opposed to doing that, I can save you more money on the back end.
Yeah. So we were talking about the sales concession thing. So 10 grand, where's the best way to get it? Right. So if you're going to sell a home for $500,000 asking price, is it better to take and say, I want to offer $490 and save a couple dollars a month?
Right.
Or would you rather say, I'll take $10,000 in concessions and now apply that to a rate buy down, which permanently buys my rate down, which is going to save me about $250 a month.
Very important for any buyer to understand that and see that, because immediately you think, I'm going to get a cheaper price in a house, but that is not necessarily the best tactic to take financially for your long term.
No, it's certainly not the best strategy, and you're going to make it up much more over time having that lower rate up front.
Gotcha.
In essence, if you think about it this way, would you rather save $70 per month because you got $10,000 off the top of the house, or would you rather save $250 per month that it's going to pay for itself within like 3 years?
Very true.
And by the way, especially since we're going into a lower rate environment right now, everyone's like, well, I could get the house and I could refinance later. But what if you could save money on a refinance by not having to do it because the seller already paid $10,000 towards get you a better rate in the
Right.
first place.
Absolutely.
Now you're out of the market worrying about refinancing until you could get low 4s, top of the 3s again, maybe.
Right. Now, you don't deal with VA stuff, do you? Or do you?
Of course.
Now, have they caught up to the NAR settlement or no? They.
Still not yet. There's a little bit of a gray area with the VA.
Right.
They're the only ones that haven't announced yet that the buyer's commission is separate. Fannie Mae has said for conventional FHA, and of course for non-QM loans, all that, everything's been separated out. But VA, for some reason, they're just dragging their feet.
Okay, so has that affected your VA buyers or has no impact?
Not yet. I haven't had one yet that has had to say, hey, they're not paying commission on this. A lot of times if people are going VA, they're doing it because they understand I'm working with a veteran,
Right.
and they feel for that. They want to provide for those that protect our country.
Gotcha.
So when you look at that, nobody goes, well, I don't want to cost this person extra money.
Right.
So they'll just bake it in that way.
Absolutely. How should buyers prepare in this day and age, knowing that commissions could be factored into their buying of a home? What do they do, or what are they thinking about in terms of their own wallet?
I think that they have to be ready to have the right conversation with their agent.
Right.
Be upfront with where their budget is at and not try to hide anything. So while you try to provide transparency on what's happening on your side, the buyers really have to provide transparency on their side. If they don't have funds to pay their agent, they can tell that to you, and there's nothing wrong with it. You shouldn't feel bad like, hey, I am trying to buy a home. I have a down payment. I got closing costs. Certainly in certain states, it's way more expensive to buy a home because certain fees are higher. Title fees can be higher. But if you're on a budget, tell your agent. And then your agent can say, hey, because you've shared this with me, I can now take and tell sellers that if you're not offering this, my clients are not interested in seeing your home.
Right.
And that all comes from having transparent conversations.
Right. And I don't know if the builders are bought a home or offering, it seems like a lot more to help out with this. Well, what was your experience recently with buying a home as a new buyer?
It goes pretty smooth when you go through a builder. I mean, they just kind of say, hey, here what it is. And on my home in particular, we didn't get to pick options.
Right.
Yeah, so it's just kind of, here's what you get.
Right.
Yeah.
People haven't explored that are new buyers, that builders are offering compensation for that buyer, which might be more beneficial than just buying one that's not brand new. So that's another option for them to look at.
That is certainly a good option because I know I got a large amount of concessions from the builder. They have their own way of doing things a little bit different than what us lenders can do. But with that being said, if that appeals to somebody and they like the new construction and they need the incentives, it can be a great way to go.
Right.
Now, the fun part is, as a broker, sometimes we come across deals that builders can't do. Sometimes it's self-employed, they write too much off on taxes, and so now they need a bank statement loan or 1099 where we just qualify based on your deposits that are coming in from your business. The interesting part is that builders will still give incentives from time to time. Hey, my lender couldn't get this done. I still want to sell a house. Here's a portion of the incentives.
Just use the word bank statement. Thank you very much, Trent, for all of your insight. For those who are watching, Trent's information will be listed below, and I trust Trent empirically for all his loan insights. So thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you for taking time to chat with me.
Absolutely.